Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.
This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha. Have you inherited something from your family? Other than tangible items, it could be your sense of humor, mannerisms, or secret unwritten recipes from your elder's kitchen. These are all family jewels of a sort, treasures that may not sparkle in the light, but precious nonetheless, with the capacity to inspire and direct you as you make your own path, including where you want to go and who you want to become. Our next guest, Omar Badrun, did just that with his father's entrepreneurial spirit, and he and his brothers turned it into actual jewelry at Vibe Season, a wildly popular online jewelry store that set up shop at City Foundry in Midtown St. Louis. Omar, welcome to St. Louis on the Air.
Hello, Elaine. Thanks for having me.
Omar, you're used to working in a family business. After living and working in Michigan, your parents moved to St. Louis and opened up their own family business. Tell us a little bit about that decision.
Yes, so my father immigrated here in the early 70s, and my mom and dad met up in Michigan. They got married up there, and they came to St. Louis, opened a business, and, you know, they didn't really have a whole lot of options for them being immigrants coming to this country. So, St. Louis offered a unique opportunity for them to come and open their own business and be business owners. And, you know, me and my brothers actually worked with my parents in their, small business here. Mm-hmm. And, that was something that really taught us a lot.
Yeah. And what kinds of things did you learn by watching your dad and your mom, own and operate at what I understand they had corner stores?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Just knowing how to deal with people, knowing not to take anything too personal or too serious, really just trying to put your best foot forward in any situation, trying to maintain a good relationship with the community. Mm-hmm. Those things are definitely important.
Yeah. And I relate to that because my parents also had they had convenience stores up in Ontario, Canada. Yes. It's a little bit different from the way things are done in the States, but I relate on that level. How did working with your parents in those corner stores, in communities where folks didn't share your family's background, right, as immigrants and Palestinians, how did that shape you as a St. Louisan?
It was actually culture shock at first because you're dealing with communities that you're not really raised around. St. Louis is very segregated still to this day. So it was definitely a positive experience because it gives you the opportunity to really see these different communities and not just base what you hear, what you think about them, or what the media might try to portray them as. So it was very eye-opening.
Yeah. So did you have the opportunity then, to build relationships with people as you were working with your parents in these stores?
Yes. It's crazy. I have customers from those stores that actually come and see me at Vibe Season still to this day. So,
okay.
The city's quite, small. So I bump into people all the time, actually.
Yeah. Is there one person in particular who is sort of, been following you, or you've been in contact over all those years?
Yeah, there's a few. I've definitely tried to maintain, anytime I see them, it's kind of like a blast from the past, and it's, always something that kind of puts into perspective how far I've came, or how far me and my brothers have come, from working in a small liquor store, grocery store to, completely changing what we do for a living and being able to do something completely different.
Yeah. No, your dad eventually retired from the corner store business, but the entrepreneurial bug definitely bit you and your brothers. How many brothers do you have?
So I have two brothers. I have an older brother and a younger brother. I'm right in the middle.
Okay.
And yeah, we kind of had to force my dad to retire.
Okay.
He wanted to keep working for as long as he could. And, we got to a point where luckily and thankfully we were doing well enough that we were able to just tell him, hey, take a break. You've done enough for us, and let us take over for now.
So does he occasionally help at Vibe Season?
I've tried to get him to come in to work. He does not want to.
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, he claims he wants to find a job or wants to do something part-time just to kind of keep his time filled up.
Yeah.
And I offered it to him. I asked him, and he didn't seem too interested for whatever reason.
Okay. So, Vibe Season, tell us about the beginnings of this online store. And it's Vibe, Vibe, Season, SZN.
Yes. Correct. So, Vibe Season was about 7 years old now. Started as an e-commerce brand. My older brother, Ali, came up, him and his team actually came up with the idea. And they've maintained it for 7 years now as an online brand. They were able to do a lot of, amazing things in the industry, break a whole lot of barriers, work with a lot of amazing influencers. But then, about a year and a half to 2 years ago, the St. Louis Foundry became an opportunity for us to open up our first flagship retail location. Mm-hmm. So, that was something that we were able to jump on, and it's been exciting and it's been fun.
Was it because you saw that this space was opening and you thought, we want to be there? Or was it through some, outreach sort of thing on their side?
My brother lives in West County and our office is downtown. So, he was driving past it every day while the development was happening. So I think it definitely caught his eye first. When it comes to jewelry, selling it online is cool, but being able to offer people an experience where they're able to see it for themselves, try it on, feel it, see what the quality's like, I think that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah. So it is a more personal experience then.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I'm speaking with Omar Badran, who's the co-owner with his brothers of Vibe Season STL, and that's located at City Foundry in Midtown, St. Louis. And I will say I am wearing something that you brought for me, and it's very appropriate to today. It is imagine the happy face, but instead of dots for the eyes, there are X's. And this is appropriate because you may hear my voice. I'm having a very hard time with allergies today. So I am wearing this. I can feel that it's light. It's high quality. I definitely want to go and take a look at what is in the store. What is it about being in City Foundry that has been helpful to you all?
So City Foundry is definitely a unique shopping experience. I think it's something that St. Louis has never had before. You have a collection of local businesses, mainly there. Retailers. We're right next to Sanction, the shoe store, and all of these storefronts are actually locally owned. So I think that's definitely something that's unique about the Foundry.
Yeah. And since you opened up there, have you found that it has encouraged some of the online sales that you're doing?
Yes, definitely. I see that as something that kind of goes hand in hand because customers might come in, they might see something they like, and they might purchase it later down the road. But also, being at the Foundry, we get customers that come in that are just people that are maybe just stopping into St. Louis for a quick trip, and this is maybe one of their travel destinations while they're here. They'll see something they like, they'll order it from us online, maybe later at a later date or in store, and then we'll ship it directly to them.
So it's really working together then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When people walk into Vibe Season, what are some of the items that they can expect to see? So
we've got a lot of gold, a lot of silver, a lot of women's jewelry, men's as well. But our emphasis is actually on the custom pieces. So we specialize in custom nameplates. We could put any name on a necklace.
Okay.
But we also make custom hoops, studs, anklets, bracelets, and rings.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably one of the main things. When I point that out to them, like you could put any name on this necklace or this ring or this bracelet, that's something that kind of gets the wheels turning, and they start thinking like, oh, what should I get? And for some people, it could be overbearing just having so many options.
Okay, that's
But, usually tends to work out.
yeah. Is there a best-selling item that you have?
I think it really just depends on like what week you come in or what day. I think that the jewelry, what's in and what's popular, it's just changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
And there's different styles out there. Some people want the more edgy items, and some people want the more classy, traditional items.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to answer that, to be honest.
And when you say that you put names on earrings, what do you mean by that? Can you describe what it would look like?
So you could choose your font. We have multiple fonts that you could choose from. And it would just be a very small gold or silver nameplate. If it was a stud, it would just, be very tiny.
Okay.
And, something that's in like a script looks very similar to like a cursive style handwriting. But I think that the best thing would be to come in store, see me, and see it for yourself, because it's really hard to explain.
And are you there most days of the week?
Most of the time I'm there. I do have some employees that do work with us in store, but you can find me there throughout the week, yes.
Now, you told our producer, Maya Norfleet, that being involved in the community in St. Louis is something that's really important to you. How do you want Vibe Season STL to give back to St. Louis, Omar?
So, being born and raised in St. Louis, and having a business here downtown, we want to be involved with the community and, be able to give back in any way. So I'm open to any and all opportunities, really. If it's within our means, we'll definitely make it happen. And it really just, I would say, depend on the scenario.
Yeah. And is there anything that you've done that is specific to the Palestinian community here in St. Louis?
So back in 2021, there was very unfortunate war going on in Palestine, and we launched a Free Palestine necklace. And we were donating the proceeds of that to the PCRF, which is the Palestinian Child's Relief Organization Fund. They offer free surgeries for children affected by war zones.
Yeah.
So, that was a really great organization to team up with for that.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't just stop at me being Palestinian. Like, if there's a great cause out there that we can commit to trying to help, and if it is within our means, obviously, I would definitely be open to it.
And finally, how do you think Vibe Season STL really gives St. Louis? Like, if you walk in there, what is it that makes it feel like a St. Louis place?
So a lot of the pieces that we actually sell, we design them specifically for the St. Louis store. I've got like 314 necklaces, STL necklaces, St. Louis necklaces, a lot of different styles for all of those. And there's probably more that I'm forgetting. I have over 1,000 items in my store.
Yeah.
So even for me, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. But we've got a whole bunch of STL-inspired items, definitely.
And this last question, last minute here, how do you explain having gotten over or up to 200,000 followers on Instagram? What was the key to success there?
With that, I would say that was something that took a lot of time, a lot of investment, and just a lot of continuous reinvestment in our business, because it was a business that we believed in, and we just kept doubling down until we could get, a sizable following. And I think that was key.
Omar Badrun is a co-owner of Vibe Season STL here in St. Louis. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Elaine.
This episode was produced by Maya Norfleet.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Our podcast proudly supports St. Louis artists by using music from Life Creative Group.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.